Welcome to Country Life Japan. In our last video, we showed how we started demolishing and renovating our kitchen space. Since then, a lot's been happening in the kitchen, and in today's video, we want to show some of the work and how it's progressed since then, along with some of the lessons we've learned. So let's take a look at what's been happening.
So this is the point that we reached at the end of our last video. One of the first problems we encountered was during the winter, on very cold days and nights, when the water in the faucet froze and broke the faucet, causing it to leak. So we needed to replace this faucet with a cold weather faucet. Here you can see a small hatch that opens into a concrete room below the kitchen floor. This was probably used to store rice and other foods in the past, but we wanted to keep it and possibly use it one day to be able to store our own goods. Next step was to vinyl over the false floor in the kitchen. So we chose this because it's quite an easy and easily maintained flooring. So we glued it down and vinyled the full floor. Next, we began measuring, cutting and fitting ply boards which were to make the bottoms and walls of our kitchen cabinets to give them a more sealed look, and we also coated these with polyurethane so they were more water resistant and able to deal with different things being put on them. We also put in supports for shelving units that would be also in the cabinets, made of plywood and coated in polyurethane again. With the leftover bits of plywood, we measured and built drawers that would also fit in our cabinets, and fitted these with rails so they could slide in and out, and again coated the drawers with polyurethane. So at this point we were quite happy with the functionality of our kitchen and were enjoying using it, but we had a big issue in the winter that we noticed, which was black mold starting to develop on the backs of the cabinets behind the drawers in the dark spaces. We discovered that this was being caused by cold air rushing in and causing moisture in the backs of the cupboards, which was then developing into mold. The reason for this was because we had not insulated behind cabinets, the walls, the exterior walls, before putting them all in, which was quite a problem. Therefore, it was a bit of a pain and a nightmare really, but we needed to sort of start over. So we needed to take out the cabinets, start removing the walls in order to insulate properly, and go back to from the start really. At the time, I had dislocated my shoulder, and so was not much use other than making cups of tea. But thankfully, we had a friend staying with us who was able to give a huge help and in getting the job done during the middle of winter. So what we're doing is insulating the walls, then putting on soundproof sheeting, which really just adds another layer of insulation as well, and then plasterboarding over the top. We then puttied and sanded so it's ready to paint for the future. And as the walls had come in slightly due to the depth of the plasterboard on both sides, the cabinets needed to be cut down in order to be fit again in the space. With the cabinets back in, we painted the front of the frame, which the faces of the drawers and the cupboard doors will also be painted in this colour in the future. Next up was to fill in the back door that we no longer wanted to use. This was after the winter now. So went about really building a stud wall in the door, supporting the flooring as well so that it was sturdy and insulating any of the gaps in that. And then using a waterproof sheeting and slats on the outside, ready for mesh and mortar to be applied to it. On the inside, it was insulated and plasterboarded over. And here you can see the point we're up to. So, as we've shown, it's been a long journey to get the kitchen to where it is today. And although it's not quite the finished product yet, we're happy with how comfortable and functional it is. There's still some work that needs to be done to get it finished, but we feel like the big jobs are now behind us. So we'll keep our channel updated with progress on the house. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.